Hi neighbors, this is Jessica in communications for the City of Battle Creek, and this is the City Commission agenda preview for the May 2nd regular City Commission meeting and the May 4th City Commission budget workshop. If you're new to these preview videos or need a reminder about the different parts of our agendas, check out the link to our intro video, which is down in the description box. First, the City Commission meeting starting at 7 p.m. Tuesday, May 2nd. That's tomorrow. I do apologize for the short lead time on this one, but hopefully it can still give you some good information before the meeting. There's a lot happening on this agenda, which is why I still want to talk about it with you. You can follow along on our website, battlecreekmi.gov, visit the Your Government tab, Mayor and City Commission, then agendas, minutes, and videos. And you will find the agenda we're looking at here by clicking on Online Agenda for May 2nd. May is a big month for recognition, and the Commission will present 4 proclamations at the meeting for Police Memorial Week and Police Officer Memorial Day, Mental Health Month, Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and Workers Memorial Day. The Commission will hear a presentation from our Public Transit Director, Mallory Avis, about countywide transportation. If you're interested in public transit, don't miss this. Mallory has a lot of data and information about providing transportation to neighbors and the transportation needs that they have. And you'll see there'll probably be another discussion about that later on in the agenda. We have one public hearing to allow public comment and allow an adult use marijuana establishment applicant to speak related to the denial of their application for a 100 Leafs business at 327 Capitol Avenue Southwest. The city informed them that they were operating without a Part B permit. That's part of the application process for this type of marijuana use establishment. And that the Part B permit application wasn't completed with the right documents, so it was denied. There is one ordinance introduction related to a resolution that's also later on in the agenda that would end the city's membership in the Area Metropolitan Services Agency, that's AMSA. If that's approved, this ordinance here would replace our AMSA Board of Appeals with a City of Battle Creek Construction Board of Appeals, which is required by state law. Ending our AMSA membership would also require some changes to our electrical, plumbing, and mechanical codes since they all reference AMSA. This ordinance would update those codes as well as clean up outdated references and update the language to be ungendered in all of those codes. We have 2 ordinance adoptions, and these were both introduced at the April 18th regular commission meeting. To completely approve an ordinance, you might remember that it has to appear on the agenda twice, as an introduction and as an adoption. So these are the adoptions. One is to consider final approval for the proposed update to our zoning ordinance, which guides appropriate land uses in the city. As a reminder, we made a big update to that plan in 2020, and this update would improve sections that need clarification, might have been too restrictive, or were unnecessary. The second one is to consider final approval to increase the number of hen licenses in the city from 20 to 50. Since the commission approved the local law to allow residential chickens, we have reached the original limit of 20 licenses, and we haven't had any problems with it, so staff proposed raising the license limit to 50. On the consent agenda for May 2nd, there are minutes from previous meetings, the city manager's report for that evening, and resolutions 124 through 127. And briefly, what these resolutions are to consider are approving the city opening a certificate of deposit bank account, approving the city to file a claim in a state grant program that can help local governments fund their retirement systems to 60% if they aren't. And in 2022, our state pension plan was 59.7% funded. Approving the city to sell a city-owned piece of land in the Fort Custer Industrial Park to Battle Creek Unlimited for $1. And finally, approving an update to a resolution approved at the March 7th meeting for a project at the Transit Administration Building. A line was left out of that resolution that says the city manager can approve changes of up to 10% in the project cost due to unforeseen circumstances. That's a pretty typical line that those types of resolutions would have. And next are the resolutions not included in the consent agenda, numbered 128 to 136. Reso 128 would revoke what is called an Obsolete Property Rehabilitation Act property tax exemption certificate, that's an OPRA, for the Hampton Building at 32 West Michigan Avenue. This was approved for 12 years of property tax exemption in 2015, and the Battle Creek Community Foundation bought the property last year. So the foundation would receive the property tax exemption for the 2024 tax year. Reso 129 would approve extending the contract for a security presence at City Hall, with the first year estimated to cost about $47,400, and there could be one-year renewals through June of 2028. Reso 130 would accept the low responsible bid for this year's milling and paving street project from Lakeland Asphalt at an estimated cost of around $742,400. The streets on this year's schedule are around Piper Park on the north side of the city, and you can see a map attached to this item on the agenda. Reso 131 would opt out the city from a new transportation authority of Calhoun County. On Thursday of this week, May 4th, the Calhoun County Board of Commissioners will consider approving this countywide authority, and the communities within the county can choose to opt out by resolution. When a commissioner wishes to place an item on the agenda, they must have support from at least 2 additional commissioners. So Commissioner Jake W. Smith requested this opt-out resolution, supported by Commissioners Roger Ballard and Chris Simmons. Commissioner Smith does note in the notes of the resolution that this doesn't mean that he opposes the issue, but believes that it's appropriate to have a public discussion about it. So if you're interested in transit, this is a good opportunity to check out that discussion. Reso 132 would approve the low responsible bid for a new higher capacity Edgebrook pump station for just under $5.5 million from Grand River Construction, Inc. This is off Edgebrook Drive on the southeast side of the city and serves parts of Emmett and Leroy townships. They will help support the cost of this project as well. The current pump station is over 50 years old now and is in poor condition at this point, so that prompted the replacement. Reso 133 would approve the 2023-2024 annual action plan from our Community Development Division. That's a required plan to show how we will spend federal funds that help meet the needs of low and moderate income neighbors in Battle Creek. These activities use Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Reso 104 would make changes to our flag display policy that was first approved in 2021. The changes that are involved in this resolution are that the city manager will notify all of the city commissioners the first time there's consideration of displaying a commemorative flag. Any resolution seeking approval to display a flag will include a photo of the flag. The city will not fly flags supporting political parties or candidates, and the commemorative flag would be displayed underneath the Battle Creek city flag on the same pole instead of replacing it. Reso 135 would support denying the adult use marijuana establishment permit for 100 Leafs at 327 Capitol Avenue Southwest after the public hearing on that issue earlier in the meeting. And finally, Reso 136 would cancel the city's membership in the Battle Creek Area Metropolitan Service Agency, or AMSA, which we talked about earlier in the introduction of ordinances. So that's all for the May 2nd regular City Commission meeting, but I also want to preview the Thursday, May 4th City Commission workshop, which will be about the budget for our upcoming year. Remember that the city's budget year is from July 1st to June 30th each year. You will hear an introduction to the budget and a presentation of the proposed budget for our 2024 budget year. And you'll also hear some information from our departments about their proposed budgets and how they compare to the current year's budgets. Government budgets are pretty complex, but to give you a brief overview, we have some specific funds in our budget, like for the airport, transit, water and sewer. And then we have a general fund, which accounts for everything else, like administration, police and fire, and public works. That's not all of the departments, but those are just some examples. We base our general fund in part on local property taxes, and we have a millage rate that includes operating, capital projects and capital project debt, police and fire retirement, and streets. The current year's millage adds up to 15.503 mills, and the proposed total for the next year is 15.758, with the proposed increase only in the police and fire retirement category. And you'll hear more about that during the workshop. You can see the proposed budget document, it's 64 pages, at our website. Under the Your Government tab, choose Finance from the Departments list and click Budget on the left side of the page. Remember that the Commission does not vote at a workshop, so you can attend and participate by giving public comment, and then the budget document will come back during a regular Commission meeting for a vote. For more information and to see more detail and documents related to each agenda item, please check it out online or get a paper copy in the City Clerk's office at City Hall. Thanks for joining me for this City Commission workshop preview for May 2nd and May 4th, 2023. Watch the City Commission live or as replays on the City of Battle Creek, Michigan YouTube channel and get connected with your City of Battle Creek.